Good evening and thanks for joining us. After years of controversy and confusion, the true numbers are finally out about the full cost of new fighter jets for Canada. An independent audit of the plan to buy F-35 jets reveals the cost would be almost $46 billion over 42 years. That's billions more than the Harper government told Canadians. So today the government says it has hit the reset button, but it hasn't stopped accusations the government lied to Canadians and should have come clean long ago. Our Ottawa Bureau Chief Jacques Bourbeau has been looking at the numbers and the fallout. Jacques?
Well, Donna, the F-35 price tag is generating more and more controversy, but the deal to buy the fighter jet is still far from dead.
It's supposed to evade enemy radar, but the F-35 is clearly in the crosshairs of the number crunchers. A new audit pegs the cost of the stealth fighter jet at $45.8 billion over a 42-year life cycle, a far cry from the government's initial estimate of $14.7 billion over a 20-year time frame. And the audit warns rising costs may force the government to cut the number of planes it buys from 65 to 55.
These estimates will continue to be refined in the years to come, no matter what aircraft Canada purchases.
In the House of Commons, the opposition accused the government of lying to Canadian taxpayers.
So I guess what the Prime Minister of Canada is telling Canadians, it's okay to mislead Canadians, it's okay to tell them untruths during an election campaign.
This government, Mr. Speaker, has provided the information at its disposal to Parliament. The government has provided the information at its disposal to the people of Canada.
All these studies are estimates. We still haven't bought a single plane. But experts warn the new $45.8 billion price tag could still be too low.
I have to adjust to our budget cuts in this country in early 2013, and that means a smaller production run and or delays, and that's going to increase your unit costs as well.
The government also laid out what it's going to do next. A group of bureaucrats will be looking at the current crop of fighter jets and see how they stack up as possible replacements to our current fleet of CF-18s. But the government still won't say whether it will launch a brand new, open, competitive bidding process.
That's the only way to know for sure that we're getting the right aircraft for the men and women in the military for the right price for the Canadian taxpayer.
If there is a new competition, the F-35 will be in the running, and this military expert says it still beats the other contenders.
They do have less capability than the F-35 does. If they come in and it ends up the case that they are significantly cheaper and much more cost attractive, then maybe the government decides to go with them.
And that $45.8 billion price tag still has room to grow because it doesn't include $1 billion to buy new weapon systems, and various risk factors could add another $2.5 billion to the price tag. And keep in mind, even though we haven't bought a single fighter jet, this program has already cost Canadian taxpayers $231 million. Donna?
Okay, Jacques Bourbeau in Ottawa. Thanks, Jacques.